he's got a free throw to hit 10,000 points for his career.
As Tatum's first basket as an NBA ball player.
Oh, Tatum put it down. Tatum gets past. Step back triple. Tatum on the drive. Oh, puts it down. Sizes up Collins, he'll fire. Splash.
Jason Tatum, the youngest Boston Celtic ever with 10,000 career points.
Tatum's been unstoppable. Step back, another three. Puts it in. Oh, Tatum.
The perimeter, deep three from Tatum, yes!
2 seconds, 1 second, Tatum. Oh,
Tatum
now the Kupo, the superstar, step back three on the way. Spin, step back, here goes Tatum, down. Drives down, and throws it down. 51 in Game 7. Tatum puts up a three.
When we played the Wolves, it was a legit loss. Honestly, they're really good. They're 6-2 or something, or 7-2.
Yeah, the Wolves are 6-2. Yeah, we're 7-2. Philly's in first in the conference, 7-1.
They're 7-1, and they got the tiebreaker.
They lost their opening night to the Bucks. They haven't lost since.
Yeah, we lost for them.
They were also like the best team last year for a stretch there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a long regular season.
Yeah, but this, I will say, I do feel like this this Sixers team is a little bit different.
Yeah, they're
Not
not
a little
James Harden anymore.
Right, which you'd figure would be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But with Tyrese Maxey stepping in.
Dude, James Harden, he's gonna go down as one of the worst like vets ever because what Vince Carter did with like kind of chilled out and like let his ego aside. Like he's like doubles down on like being still as good. Like he's even louder than Russell Westbrook. Like I still really think Russell Westbrook's good enough to be in the NBA. But James is like gonna play himself out of the NBA basically soon.
I don't know. I think James is better than both of those players right now. He, especially right now. I mean, at the same age, neither of them were leading the league in assists last year, and also scoring 20 a night.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that if it doesn't work in LA, I don't think that another team's gonna pick them up after all the headaches.
That makes yeah.
You can be a good player, but if you're gonna give us headaches and you're not gonna help us win a championship, why are we gonna deal with you?
Like Dwight Howard could probably find a role in the NBA.
No,
somewhere.
I think at the end of his career, he had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. I don't think that he has it in him anymore. He was in Taiwan.
Playing in China.
Yeah, but I mean that's different. Tyler Hansbrough is playing in China.
Yeah.
He couldn't make a roster.
Wow.
Hey, watch your tongue.
Dude, Luke Herringody was playing in the G League, getting 20 and 12 a night, and he couldn't find a roster spot on the 2012 Celtics, who were dog shit. Like, like the difference between Taiwan and the NBA and the G League is unbelievable.
All right, Steve, you laugh now. But when my boy Dabu makes his fucking triumphant comeback, I'll be the one laughing.
Yabusele?
Dabu, baby.
I thought you were talking about fucking Dabo Sweeney, and I was like, yeah, I hope that guy gets fucking buried underneath Clemson.
The way he keeps coaching, he might be coaching in China.
Fuck that guy.
Later.
That guy's such
Not a big Dabo fan?
No, he doesn't want to pay the fucking players. He wants to get all his fucking money. He's getting paid millions and millions of dollars. He's like, no. The players shouldn't want it. It's for the love of the game you should be playing.
He's only saying that because Clemson can't compete with Alabama like that.
He's a fucking loser. Fucking hate those people.
Taylor's sick to his stomach. Huge Clemson fan. Clemson graduate.
Oof.
Actually, I think everybody that you don't know in that lobby, except for Frankie, is a Clemson graduate.
I bet your school's pretty cool.
It's probably great for football season. That's for damn sure. Tailgates.
Stadium's a lot smaller than you'd think. You think of Death Valley would be huge, but it's like compared to the real true state, like big college stadiums like Michigan and Beaver Stadium, Happy Valley, it's small.
Yeah, that's all I hear about college is that like they have like way bigger capacity than like pro games and they just pack it in, so that is surprising.
Yeah, Beaver Stadium, where Penn State plays, holds 106,000 people.
So crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So many fucking people.
How
Yeah,
loud
it's-
is that?
It's
So when I
unbelievable.
went, it was fucking the loudest stadium I've been to, and it was only like half filled maybe, and it was
Yeah.
like a scrimmage game.
It was the loudest. It was louder than
It was
Foxborough.
so loud. So there's been times in Foxborough where the stadium gets fucking rocking, like Tom Brady's comeback, the Ravens AFC divisional round. That was like the loudest I think I've ever heard a stadium. But it was pretty close for just a game that did not matter at all. Like,
That's pretty wild. So on a game that does matter, I bet it's probably even louder than.
oh, when they have like coordinated music and like the I forget what they do in Beaver Stadium, but fucking each college does like a song type thing, to like a top 40 song from the days of yore. But yeah, it must get nuts.
Yeah, I
But-
kind of missed out on not going to college.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I went to college. I didn't go to a college like that.
Hey, don't even talk shit about UMass Dartmouth, right?
Yeah, sick football team they
Pirates are-
had there.
Popping, bro.
The Corsairs, dude.
I went to Amherst, which is really fun, but not for football, really.
Yeah, Amherst also has that dope ass pizza spot over there.
They have all the food, honestly. Their dining halls were nuts when I was there.
They
What's
were
that
rated like the
pizza
best in
spot?
the country.
Jay, what was that pizza spot called? Antonio's?
Antonio's, yeah.
Right on the corner next to that bookstore?
Yeah, well, it was just where all the bars were too, so it's kind of where everyone just spilled out.
That place was phenomenal. I
Mhm.
remember whenever I used to deliver out there, I used to go grab Antonio's. Couple
Yeah,
slices.
they had those crazy big customizable like one slices.
That ones with fucking like yams on them and shit.
Mhm. A lot of like vegetable. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff on those.
Yeah, we could talk about how bad the Bucks are. That's something we could talk about.
Yeah, we could. I mean, the Celtics have played 10 games. We could kind of just go through like early award predictions and stuff if we wanted
They've only
to.
played 9 by my counting.
Yeah,
Oh, I
we
thought
got
it was 8-2.
7-2 so far.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Some teams have broken 10 games. Most of them are around 8, 9.
We're 1/9 away,
We talk about how bad the Clippers are.
and the Grizzlies. There's a few really stinkers.
Well, I mean, the Grizzlies, you weren't surprised that they were bad.
The Kings have been bad, but they've not had Fox for much of it. But they're like 3-5 or something.
4-4. I got everything up right now.
Oh,
500
okay.
team. They've won the last 2, so I think they
That's good
beat
for them.
they beat the
What's-
Warriors. for them.
What's Fox's timeline?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about him. You guys are more tapped in with the entire NBA than I am. I don't have the wave the brain power to fucking keep up with anything other than the Celtics.
Yeah, the bottom of the table looks pretty accurate for the Eastern Conference. Pistons, Wizards, Hornets.
Bulls, Raptors,
Bulls.
yes.
Although the Raptors will be in the mix.
It's more of the
so will
Westers that's kind of.
Cavs.
I don't think the Raptors are going to be in the mix. I think the Raptors.
They
and the
were
Nets,
last year.
I think the Raptors and the Nets are going to be the first ones out. They also had Van
True.
Fleet last year too.
Raptors can sell.
We don't have any point guards on that team now. We saw it last night. They had Pascal Siakam running point. Like, they
Yeah,
don't
he might
have-
not even be on the team.
Grady Dick's going to be starting by the end of the fucking year for that team.
Dick man.
Like I'm saying, there's a Dick sighting in page.
Yeah, see the West is really weird. The Rockets are 4th.
The West is weird too because at the bottom you got freaking Utah
The
was in the playoffs
Grizzlies.
last year. They're 3-7 so far this year.
The Rock. I mean, other than obviously the Nuggets. I mean, the Mavs are really good, but they're not supposed to be this good.
Yeah,
So it's like other than the Nuggets, everything's pretty like wild. I mean, the you could have told me the Mavs and Timberwolves would have been good, but like I would definitely wouldn't have put money on it.
no, I mean, and the Clippers
Never.
are a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah, that
Yeah, but you got to figure they're gonna water's just gonna find his level.
They've lost their last 5 in a row, and 4 of them were
Yeah.
with James Harden.
Yeah, he hasn't played himself in. I hate that you're making me be the advocate for James Harden, but let's be honest, they're gonna be like a playoff team.
I
Barring,
think they'll be in the play-in and
Yeah.
then just probably win. You know.
I think they'll make the playoffs, but I mean, because some of the teams that are in there right now, like I don't think Oklahoma City, they might squeeze into the playoffs. The Pelicans, I think, are going to fall out of that.
see, I disagree. I think the Pelicans, once they're healthy, I think they're actually legit.
I'm just
yeah,
predicting
that's
a,
fine.
I'm just predicting a health thing again, honestly, with them.
Well, you're already off to a rip roaring start. The Rockets, let's be honest, they're dropping out.
Yeah,
they
the
ain't gonna
Rockets,
make
too.
it.
I was looking at them. Yeah, they're gonna drop out. So yeah, I mean they should make the playoffs. I mean you got 10 spots to make the playoffs now because you got the play-in tournament. So like if you can't be a top 10 team in the West with the guys that are on that fucking team, I know it's not gonna make sense, but you should just win just based off of strength of schedule. You know.
The Suns are gonna move up.
Yeah, Suns when they get healthy, they'll move up a little bit too.
Lakers.
I think the Timberwolves are pretty much locked into like top 6, but I don't know if they'll be like third, But they'll be.
I don't think the Mavericks will be second.
Yeah, I think Mavs and Timberwolves would be pretty damn solid, but it'd be pretty impressive. I mean, Luka would probably be MVP if they're second.
Yeah, yeah.
Cody, you might as well just throw the fucking throw like a pre-recorded intro on the beginning of this thing because this should all just be on the pod.
I can cut this section and move it around.
Yeah, or we could you just fucking at the end of the pod we'll just do our intro. That'll be our sign off. Will be our intro.
All right, count me in. Welcome to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring Cody Adams and Steve Crowley. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, coming to you on November 12th, 2023. Happy belated Veterans Day to all those that served and are serving. I'm Cody. That's Steve, and that's Jacob. How you doing, boys?
Good. Another day in
Oh.
paradise. Sunday scaries.
I was gonna say the Celtics are winning again, so
It was also
Yes.
nice to get the take your medicine real early in the morning with the Patriots
Mm-hmm.
playing in Germany. You get your bad loss out of the way by noon, and then okay, on to the rest of my day.
Yeah, yep. Fucking took the air right out of my tires before noon.
Yeah,
But-
not that much.
What can you do? I mean, Caleb Williams is going to be a Patriot next year. I'm okay with that. But talking about teams that actually matter in this town, Celtics. It's the second week of the season. We're wrapping up the second week here. They are 7-2.
Yep.
How do we
I like
feel?
It's kind of hard to feel bad about a 7-2 team. You can nitpick and try and find things to be upset about with this team, but I mean, like we said last week, you put a bunch of new guys on the team, and they all got to figure out where they fit. You're still 7-2 while trying to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Can't be mad about it.
I mean,
Jacob, how you feeling?
we lost to the Wolves in Philly, so we lost to the best record in the East, and then also the number 1 defense. So it's not like we're taking business when we should, and I'd love to beat the Wolves in Philly, but at least we're not like losing like old Celtics losses type where we're just like playing down to our competition.
Yeah, like last year that Raptors game, that would have been a fucking
Yeah,
backbreaker. We probably would have lost
One of the
that.
Nets games.
Close.
yeah, no, one of the Nets for sure.
We've won 12 out of the last 13 against the Nets, and the one that we lost was the one I went to.
Last year, yeah. That was a brutal loss, too. That was a tough
Up by
one.
like 30 at one point in that fucking game, and then gross.
I'm glad you
Um,
didn't jinx me because imagine if you're like, oh, hopefully yours doesn't lose like when I went to see the
We got boots on the ground, Jacob over here. How was the in-season tournament? Everybody was complaining about the court. Was it a distraction or?
No, I mean, out of all the colors, I feel like we kind of had the easiest on the eyes because it was just dark green. I feel like I think there is a legitimate complaint for the Suns or like the ones that are light blue. Those are kind of crazy.
I think the
but,
Nuggets one's pretty brutal.
Yeah, just some of the ones in the West in particular seems. So I feel like
That
the
Bulls
East
one?
one's lame, but in
The
a good way.
Bulls one with that red that they put on there, like
Red is a lot, yeah.
I couldn't even watch the highlights. I was like, this hurts my eyes.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're not gonna really do that again. Like either fix it, make it more chilled in the West. But I think for ours, it was pretty good. I think we're such a traditional franchise that everyone's gonna complain no matter what.
It's the first
I
time
like
they've
the
ever
big
played on
skyline.
something that wasn't the parquet.
Parquet.
Yeah,
However many years the Celtics have been around.
I know. You hear how much Brian Scalabrine loves to say it. He kept just saying, "Oh, I just love the parquet." Though, I feel like every time he's on a call, he would just be like, "No,
Loves
I'm such a
parquet."
traditional."
I want to say something about Scal. He feels like he's gotten really bad this season. His calls have not been great.
No,
In
I
my
think he's
opinion.
doing fine. I mean, also like he's also trying to split time working with Gorman.
And the new
Yeah.
guy, I like the new guy.
So like you got to learn how to work with both of them and different cadences and when you need to step in, when you need to not step in. So I mean, it's an impossible job. Like it really is.
I don't know. Mike Gorman seems to do it pretty well.
He's been doing it for so goddamn long. I mean, he's been doing it for fucking 40 or 50 years or something like that.
Like, listen, I respect that he loves the Celtics. You know, this is like the fan base that adopted him, but he is like zero on the objective scale, like objectivity scale. Every single call is wrong if
I
it's
could not
against.
give a shit less about that. We had Tommy Heinsohn here for 40 years, and we loved every second of it. Now we're gonna complain about Scal? Come on.
But he was at least like he was so historic that it was a little different. Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
thing is, I don't think I don't think you can ask us honestly if we like Scal. It's not a good. We're so biased in that. Like, I feel like if you're not a Celtics fan, you would want to rip your eyes and ears out. But we're like kind of fine with it. But
Yeah.
if you're a Celtics fan and you're especially watching our team, who's so good, and they're kind of just like gloating about how good we are the whole time. Like he's so celebratory. Like he's like, yes, we're the best team in the East when we're doing well. So I bet if you're like a Knicks fan that just so happens to live around here and you had to catch the local broadcast, you'd probably hate it.
Brutal.
I love every second of it. I couldn't care less.
I'm fine with it. I love Tommy, so I mean, I love bias.
Miss Tommy every day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. We do miss him. I'm just gonna give a quick rundown through the schedule here. So they beat the Nets on November 4th, 124 to 114. They handled business. They dropped a tough one in overtime to the Timberwolves right after that, 114 to 109. Let's jump into that loss because the Nets game I don't really care about. But the Timberwolves game actually seems like it's one of substance. A fucking messy game from like start to finish in terms of the ref crew. Not Anthony Davis. Cat like played, I don't even know, 10 minutes because he was in foul trouble so quick. He played like 10 minutes and then he fouled out at the end. There was like no flow. It was a choppy game. It sort of resembled like how the Heat played us last year. You know?
Yeah, they did a great job mucking everything up. I mean, the refs didn't help anything. Like, just swallow your whistle. Like, at some point, let them play. That was just obnoxious. Like, that game took so long.
Yeah, it did.
It was just hard to watch. Like, the players can't get in a rhythm. Nobody's going to score the basketball if you can't get in a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we drop it in overtime. Everybody's complaining about the timeouts from Missoula or whatever, but like, it's a game in November against the Wolves. You let the guys figure it out on the fly because there's got to be some point where maybe you don't have timeouts or maybe you need them to figure it out on the fly at the end of a quarter. So let them figure that out now against the number one defense in the league, and let them. And you dropped a game in November. Like you're gonna drop games, even if a 60-win team loses 22 games. Like it's what it is.
I think that's a little too dismissive of what happened. I know it's a game in November.
I'm not upset about the timeouts. I'm more upset that they didn't make any adjustments on the fly. Like
But why didn't he call a timeout?
I think that was just him just saying, "Hey, figure it out, guys. You know, you're on a road trip. It's an overtime game. Didn't they have a game the next day, or was there didn't they have to travel to?"
No, because they went from Minnesota to Philly.
Yeah, they had traveled to Philly after that, and it was like, get the game over with. Let the boys play it out. I was more upset that it was one screen switch. I didn't like the switch in defense on Ant. I mean, that's easy pickings for him, getting downhill against Horford and Porzingis off of one screen. At the end of the fourth quarter, they were running double drag screens on the semi-transition to get him a mismatch on it, and like, all right, that's one thing. But like in overtime, for them to set one screen and have a switch and let him just pull up on you, like that's bad. That's bad coaching. The no timeouts is whatever, but not making that adjustment, that's bad coaching.
Interesting take. I think it was bad coaching throughout. I agree with what you said about the overtime, but the timeout just seems inexcusable, and it's sort of a thing that's a carryover from last year that I thought we had handled. The Timberwolves, are they for real? Are they legitimately good? What do we think about them?
Actually, I was just looking up their plus minus because I was like thinking in my head like the whole Karl Anthony Towns thing. I honestly think I think they're like helped when he's not even on. I mean, he's good, but I honestly think he's like the third most important player on their team right now. because like it goes and honestly, Rudy Gobert has had quietly a very good comeback season when it comes to like, I mean, he's anchoring the number 1 defense again, and they're
Mhm.
better with him. Their best lineup I heard is with Naz Reid and Rudy, not even Cat.
Yeah.
So it's like I honestly, I think they should trade Cat because I don't even think it would hurt their team much, and they'd get crazy pieces. Like if Cat could get you some crazy wings. But I think it was more pro Timberwolves. Obviously, we have negative coaching things like that it transpired, but I think that the Timberwolves showed that they match up really well against us and also teams that are pretty big because they got Ant who's can turn on defense like a menace and also is like top 5 in the league sometimes on a night to night basis, like scoring. And then also that you got like Jaden McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels, yeah,
Yeah, I was
he
gonna say
really
they got
took
Tate-
over.
They got someone to cover Tatum, they got someone to cover Brown, and then they got huge people to cover Porzingis. It's like they got Mike Conley who like doesn't turn it over. Mike Conley, I think I saw something. He had 1 turnover in the first game on the first possession. He's had 0 since. Maybe he did last game, but he had literally like he was 66 assist to 1 turnover ratio this year in like 7 games in. So they're just like the Timberwolves are like kind of built. And at the plus minus too, it's crazy. Ant is just clearly such a superstar now. He's like has like plus 106, second
Yeah.
highest 64. That's Rudy. Cat's 4th in their plus minus.
Yeah, I feel like once they move on from Cat, if they whatever they get back from him, they'll be an actual legitimate threat in the West. Right now, it feels a little bit like fool's gold,
Mhm.
but who knows? Maybe we'll be here in 3 months, being like, okay, they're actually legitimate. Also, no Derek White for that game, I don't believe. So that hurt.
Yeah, was that the childbirth
Yeah.
one?
He missed that one, and then I think he got to the
Philly.
Sixers game. No, he missed the game before, and he missed that game because he couldn't make it to Memphis in time. And he got to Philly at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon for like a 7 o'clock tip, and played in
brutal.
Philly. And still, he didn't play well, but to even show up with that little time was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Speaking of him-
congratulations, Derek.
Yeah, speaking of him, and I have him on I'm on the Celtics in 2K in my career, and he has the old hair and it sucks. They didn't put his new haircut in. It sucks. I need his bald head. It's so bad. It makes me really recognize how glad I am he shaved his head.
Yeah, that was necessary. That was super important. He
That was
looked like a
good for the
broccoli.
honestly, that might put us over the edge.
Shout out to the Bald King.
That was what was holding us back, was the hair.
And we also added a supreme talent, but also he shaved his head.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make the argument that Karl Towns is like the 4th most important player on the Timberwolves, to be honest.
Okay.
I think the evolution of Jaden McDaniels, like this year, he could put him as the 3rd on that team.
He can
Interesting.
guard like anyone. He
Karl
can guard
Towns
like Giannis.
Karl Towns is just too inconsistent. I mean, he had Drew Holiday covering him, and like you couldn't figure out a way to score on him.
Yeah, but listen, that's and we'll talk
I
about.
mean, I'm
it,
not
'cause that's-
saying like Drew Holiday's like a top tier defender, but like you're also like 7 inches taller and you weigh about 50, 60 pounds more, and
But
you can't find a way to shoot over him or you'll get a post touch.
it worked against Embiid. That's the same exact defense we did against Embiid, and it
Yeah.
worked. He had
Drew
like
Holiday's
6 turnovers.
Drew Holiday is a menace, but like we weren't sending doubles at Cat. Like we're letting Drew cover him 1-on-1, and he wasn't doing anything with it.
I think they're fine with Cat if Cat kind of acknowledge like I think he has acknowledged. I think he's just kind of in the weird vibes department. He's one of those players that I just don't get right now when it comes to like if he's gonna ever win anything. I just can't tell if people like him. I don't know if players like his teammates like him, which is kind of a massive
Kind of
thing.
bad vibes.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
just
that
don't-
even the fans like him.
Exactly. So like it's honestly it's almost he's one of the people in the NBA that kind of has like the most talent ever, but like I don't know if it'll ever come together because you kind of need a perfect storm to win the championship. You need like so much discipline and like such nitty gritty fine details and everyone on the same I don't know. He need if he was to like imagine if he was to really adapt into being like the 3rd best on the team and is like spot up and like was like gonna be basically a Kristaps role of like shooting threes. Cat would be like lethal
Shoot and drive closeouts. Like,
Yeah, but like he won't do that. He wants to go get a max somewhere, like, or he already got the max, but wants to go get traded and be like number one.
His body language sometimes is just so terrible too. Like sometimes you see him on defense, doesn't even try. You saw him freak out after fouling out, like acting like he didn't foul Tatum. Like I saw that from my house. Like he smacked the shit out of him and he's freaking out like he didn't foul him. Like I don't.
Yeah, he was particularly bad that game.
Like this body language sometimes is just it's off. And if you're gonna be like a leader and like a top tier guy, like you need to have that under control.
Trade in my head right now. Cat to the Knicks, like Cat for like Julius and someone.
Well,
Everybody-
I don't care what it is.
Everybody loses in that trade.
Julius Randle is a Celtics killer for whatever reason.
Yeah, get him out then.
Yeah, I'll
Honestly,
send him, send him off
who knows
west.
if Cat
He was
is?
bad. He was bad against us this first matchup. That was another one where we put Drew Holiday on him. He shot 1 of like 11 against Drew Holiday.
Well, it's his off year.
Yeah,
He plays every other year well.
Every other year he shows up.
Yeah, it's literally like it's pretty funny. I think he's done that like 4 years in a row where he's like all-star, awful, most improved. No, he was most improved, awful, pretty damn good last year, and now I guess he's like historically bad this year. Like
Yeah,
that, like that thing I see on Twitter of his like brick watch where they're like betting on his like losses, on his misses.
It's wild.
but speaking of dropping one, the Celtics lost finally in the regular season to Joel Embiid, 106 to 103. What do we have to take away from that?
This one's gonna be all you guys. I didn't even get a chance to catch this game, so.
Well, it was an interesting. So it was the interesting strategy we were talking about, where Drew was guarding Embiid, and it was a purposeful strategy by Missoula to force him out top to get the ball like far out from the paint, and it resulted in like 6 turnovers or something crazy. Like it was a good strategy to try and stop him, albeit to no avail because we lost. That Tyrese Maxey dude, he's going to be your MIP, your most improved player.
Yeah, I was just on Twitter. They were talking about he's probably going to be your best bet.
He just had a 50-point game tonight.
You have 50 tonight?
Yeah, so he becomes the second youngest player with 50 points in Sixers history behind
Joel Embiid.
Allen
Yeah,
Iverson.
Oh, okay.
I was so close. So close.
Just one of the two.
Yeah,
Same guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Joel
what
Embiid
I
was like
got.
kind of old when he came in the league, and also he didn't play like.
He didn't play the first year and like a half, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like a very athletic team, and Maxi made me feel like we weren't athletic because he's
No,
just
he's so
fast.
quick.
So fast. He's just like he'd beat up everyone down the court like by a million. I was like, wait, how there's another gear that you can have? Because he was on
I
another.
was listening to like the next day. It was I mean, you did a good job with Embiid. He had more turnovers than he did assists. That's always good. And then I heard that we were getting the shots that we wanted. They just weren't falling. It was just one of those nights. Like we were getting good shots. Like the process was good, but the results weren't there.
Yeah, it was kind. I mean, both. The thing is, like, that's the thing about this season so far is that we've lost 2, and so we're in such a good spot, and our 2 losses weren't that bad. Like, they're just losses because every once in a while you just don't hit the shots, and that was kind of a game where we just couldn't get into much of a flow. And they're just a pretty damn good team. Like we probably would have beat a scrub team with that effort because we were pretty, like we were pretty damn focused. Like because we always play up to teams, but if we're not hitting, we kind of don't have it. But I don't know. Yeah,
Are the Sixers better? Are they a team to be concerned about?
For the playoffs?
Yeah.
What
Most
round?
hard,
are we
yeah.
in?
Yeah, I know, I get it. Joel Embiid doesn't make it to the second round, but
He never makes it out of the second round. First round, I'm a lot more worried than the second round. He's never made an Eastern Conference final.
so Steve, you're not worried if we have to play them
The
again in the
playoffs?
7-game series.
In the playoffs, no. And the playoffs,
Best
when
team
you're
in the NBA.
no, I'd still say the Nuggets are better than the Sixers by record and by actual eyeball test.
Yeah, true. They are 8-1. Sixers are 7-1.
And
Yeah,
like, when you have
that's
a
so
seven-
scary
when
about the Nuggets, man. They're just fucking. They're 8-1.
they're just like they're a machine. They're just like they just show up, do their thing, go home. Like, there's no ups, there's no downs.
They've been beating all the good teams too.
Yeah, they didn't have an easy schedule yet either. But the Sixers, I mean, like when you're playing in a actual series and they're gonna make adjustments throughout it, like I think that we're gonna really give them problems.
Who was the only team to, and Jacob, don't answer this, to beat the Nuggets this year?
This is the Timberwolves.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was.
They beat us and the Nuggets. Like they've beat some really good teams.
Yeah, they're they're
They beat the Nuggets early in the season too. I think it was like the second or third game.
They beat them bad.
Yeah,
That
they
was
beat
like
the
the one.
brakes off
That
them.
was like the one hiccup for the Nuggets. Other than that, they've like not even really been close to even losing much. Like I watched. I mean, they'll be maybe only win, like maybe they'll win by 8, but it still doesn't feel like it still feels like one team's winning the whole time.
I feel like they're smothering you the whole time of just like you're just not gonna. We're gonna get our 10-point lead, and then you're gonna cut it back to 5. Then we're gonna hit a 3, and then you're gonna cut it down to 4. Then we're gonna hit a couple of 2s, and our defense is gonna make you work all game long. And that's a really good strategy. And it's gonna do well in the playoffs, but I just don't think their offense has enough firepower to really win a 7-game series against any of these top tier teams.
You're saying who, the Timberwolves?
Timberwolves.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, that they'd be really good, but yeah, I think the Stars win in the end, but I think they'll just be a way better like season than they usually have.
What if
Yeah,
they go and
More
get like
like,
DeMar
that
DeRozan?
makes sense. They make way more sense this year than they ever have, in my opinion.
I don't think DeMar DeRozan fits on that team. I don't think that fits with the spacing. You already got Gobert clogging up the paint and everything like that. Mid-range jumpers aren't going to be as easy when you already got a big guy sitting in the paint like that.
It's almost like they need a forward who can stretch the floor. What
Just
the
to get
fuck
Levine back.
is Levine and Anthony Edwards?
That'd be interesting.
Levine doesn't want to play any defense.
It'd
though,
be,
so I don't
yeah,
think
it would truly be Rudy Gobert is the best, has to be the best defensive player of all time.
yeah.
If they could, I mean, they should aim higher, but imagine if they got someone like just a Jeremy Grant type, like just got like another really long, solid wing, like almost like a upper version of JD McDaniels. Like that'd be elite.
I would
What if they
trade.
get a Pascal Siakam?
Oh, that's fucking useless. Spin move.
OG,
I think if they traded Cat for OG, I think that would be that'd be a good trade.
Gary Trent.
I mean, OG's a good 3-and-D guy. He fit right in with them.
I think it'd be more than him though. I think Cat's like all NBA. Like he'd be.
He'd
I don't
get more
know.
than just OG, but like it would be a good trade for both teams, I think.
Didn't the Raptors want like 4 first-round picks for OG Anunoby or something stupid
Yeah, so they
last
didn't
year?
want to put him in they didn't want to put him in the in the fucking Kevin Durant trade. Like that was like a big thing. They're like, yeah, we're not gonna put OG up for this Durant guy. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like an untouchable asset to them. So maybe a 1-for-1 with is the only way it would happen. Maybe the Timberwolves would have to give something up. Who
Back to
knows?
the Sixers though. I think they are a threat, but also it's yeah, like it's Joel Embiid after 9 games, so it's pretty hard to read that because he's such a guy that kind of does get labored. So I feel like it's pretty hard to read him right now. But Tyrese is so good that it's pretty scary in that way. I think James Harden was bad enough vibes that I think that this year they're really feeling like the freedom from him. And also the thing about Embiid, like I'm a big hater all the time, but he's always had Simmons or Harden, so he's always had some duo bad guy with him. So this is the first year he doesn't have some person that like everyone hates. You know what I mean? Like
If
if
they
if
lose-
this team flames out, it's gonna be all Embiid.
Yeah, there's
This is the
nobody
first
else
year
to
he
fall
doesn't
on
have
that
anyone.
sword.
He doesn't have Doc either this year. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a better
Nurse, though.
coach.
We got Nick Nurse though, so
yeah,
Yeah, he's a
I
better
guess.
coach.
yeah, but you can still blame Nick Nurse for some things, like because Nick Nurse also said he wants Embiid to play more this year, which is like, hey, this injury-prone center that's going into his 33-year-old season or something like that, like, hey, we want him to play more. Like,
think he's
sick
30.
idea. Is he only 30?
Yeah, I think he just turned 30.
Even then,
Um,
we know the guy's injury history. Let's not labor the guy any more than we need to.
I think the Sixers can be a threat. They have a lot of guys now. They have a Robert Covington. They have Tobias Harris still, who's playing for something because his contract's coming up. They have Batum. They have guys now, on top of who they already had. So it's really going to depend, I think, on Maxi's performance in the playoffs. If he can sustain that level of play, this level of play he's at, in the playoffs, that would be, because I think Joel Embiid's going to show up. I don't think they've lost because Joel Embiid ever.
You know what's interesting as like the Bucks, like if you compare them to the Bucks, if Maxi is going to average 30 So in that case, he's literally as good as Damian Lillard. So that means I mean, Joel Embiid and Giannis are in the same tier, and then you got a guard in the same tier. Sixers are deeper. Like if Maxey plays this well and Embiid is Embiid, they're better than the Bucks
Yeah,
The
because they're
Bucks,
way deeper. They're way
the
deeper.
Bucks don't have nearly as many guys as you
Yeah.
will outside of their top two.
the Bucks
But-
defense is an absolute dumpster fire too.
So if Maxey's like Dame Lillard, which is crazy, but like he has been,
If he could be close to Dame, then I
Yeah.
would take the Sixers over the Bucks.
yeah.
I'm also a little bit
big
more
dude.
concerned about the Sixers keeping this through for a whole season because I have a lot more concerns with their,
Longevity,
sustained performance.
nonsense.
The Bucks are a team that, I mean, despite last year, they're built for the playoffs. They're going to be there, so that they really ratchet it up at the end of the season. The Sixers, they get hot in the season and then they like fall off a cliff in the playoffs. So if they can keep, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see if Maxey can keep this up at the end of the season, like how he's playing now.
Yeah, I think like the Sixers are like addition by subtraction right now, which is so easy to roll with. But like the Bucks, I think the Bucks, it makes sense that they're kind of doing bad because they kind of just completely changed the foundation of like Drew Holiday was so important, and they added Dame and they lost people. Like they changed so much. It kind of just shows how much better we are because we changed so much, but we're just rolling. I think honestly, it's a credit to us that we've somehow did not have really much of a gel hiccup at all, which is kind of crazy. But like the Bucks are showing what its normal, like A tier team does. I feel like we're like S right now, but like the Bucks kind of need to figure it out. But like that's kind of normal. I don't think the Bucks will probably be the third seed by the end of the year. You know,
Yeah, barring something drastic. But they also the Bucks they added probably the biggest addition, not probably. They got the biggest addition in the offseason, but they didn't address their problem, which is wings. They don't have wings like at all. Chris Middleton is washed. He is washed.
You got rid of a wing to bring in.
Yeah, they're rolling out 45-year-old Jay Crowder. So it's like they're in trouble.
they must be really misreading this Chris Middleton thing because it really seems like they're hinging on him being 2020 Chris.
They're ramping him up. Like he's playing, like they're not starting him off at like full 40-minute games. So like maybe by the middle of the season we can see what he's actually doing. But even like last year he wasn't himself. Like he's not going to be Chris Middleton of 2019, 2020.
Even if he is too, they're still really weak. Like
Yeah.
the roster's
Marjon Beauchamp, he's not scaring anybody.
No, I mean you got Pat Connaughton as one of your starters. Like that's food for any offensive player in the league.
better be food for Jalen. God damn it.
I mean, like
Better be
everybody
that.
says that, like, oh, they're gonna put Giannis on Tatum or whatever. Like, if you look at the splits, like Tatum shoots unbelievably efficient against Giannis. Giannis doesn't know what to do with Tatum. He's out there on an island. So
Yeah, then Brooke Lopez will be standing 40 feet out. So good luck.
Yeah,
And
they're screwed.
and if he doesn't stand out there, then there's gonna
Yeah.
be conceptual Zig raining down threes on you.
Exactly.
I
We're
mean,
gonna
and they have
mess
no
them.
guard defense.
No.
None. They have no guard defense. They have no wing defense. They're just banking on Giannis and Brooke Lopez being depoys.
Which
again.
we're gonna pull the hell out with some 5-out type
The only way the Bucks would, I think, beat the Celtics team in a series is if we just well, first of all, there probably has to be a significant injury to one of our starting five, and also we have to be able to not shoot. We have to like fall off a cliff shooting, because if we even shoot league average, we're gonna destroy that team. They're not built.
a
to beat
couple of
us.
years of that.
And the Bucks transition defense is just so atrocious too, and the way that we've been playing in transition this year, like getting up, getting it out, like I loved Smart, but he a lot of times he would get that rebound and that ball wouldn't get up the court. And with Drew, like the ball immediately outlet to the wings, whoever's running up the court, and the Bucks are giving up like I think it was like 1.3 points per possession in transition or something like that, something absolutely atrocious. So. Like we're gonna eat against the Bucks. We're gonna dog walk them on the offense.
Dude, we have such a fun match. Like honestly, I'm not scared of now that I'm thinking like I'm scared of them as in like I think they're a legitimate team, but the matchup wise, both of those teams we're talking about, like we basically have Drew and Derek White to like take turns on Dame Lillard.
Mhm.
And then also on Tyreek's Maxey too.
No,
And then
that's
we
gonna
got Al Horford who just actually historically stops both Giannis and Joel Embiid somehow. And then also we got Kristaps now, and then hopefully we get honestly one more long. I mean, Tatum's awesome, honestly, at guarding Giannis too, but
Yeah.
we don't want to make him that tired.
But even you could throw him and Jalen at him for a couple of possessions just to give him a different look.
Yeah, but that guard, like the fact that we have White and Drew, like the fact that both of those teams only have they have one awesome guard, but only one, and that's it.
And you also got to remember that Giannis and Dame, they're not going to play the whole game together either. So like everybody's scared of that Dame and Giannis pick and roll, but then as soon as Dame has to sit down, then all of a sudden it's like, all right, go back to building the wall against Giannis and let Pat Connaughton beat you. Like, okay. Or if Giannis is sitting down and it's Dame, it's like, all right, well, we're just going to trap Dame every time and let's let Brook Lopez try and pick and roll you to death. Like, okay.
Just one final point on the Sixers. Kelly Oubre, he's one of their guys they got who looked to have a standout year.
He's playing well.
He got hit by a car as a pedestrian, so he was walking across a street, it sounds like, and he got hit by a car, and it was a hit and run. The car kept going. He sustained significant bodily injuries, broken ribs, nothing life-threatening, thankfully. So he's out of the hospital now. He's on the mend, but something that's going to keep him out for a while, and I imagine it's probably psychologically damaging. Like you just got legitimately run over.
Yeah, it was by his house, I heard too.
It's Center City, Philly, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't like mess his leg or our shoulders any up though, because I mean, I obviously don't want to mess the ribs up, but I'm glad it wasn't some sort of like career-ending injury, because it could have been like if they ran over his leg or something.
It easily could have been so much worse.
Yeah, he could have
taken his life.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously, that's true. Obviously, but I mean, like, at least if once he recovers this year, I'm not like scared. Like, I'm at least he'll be able to recover this year. I think. Like,
hoping for a speedy recovery for that guy.
Yeah, they're saying it's going to take. He'll be back, but it's going to take a long time. They're saying, so he'll be back hopefully by the second half of the season.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't rush him back. Hopefully he takes his time. I mean,
they don't need to. They're going to be good without him for now.
Without him,
but he's going to be a guy they're going to need in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you got to take that slow. You can't really take blows when you like have an injury like that. Like even just getting back down, it would take a bit for him to a lot of PT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing unfortunately he can do for broken ribs.
Yeah,
but hope he's doing better and will a speedy recovery. But moving on, we kicked the Nets' ass in the in-season tournament. Jacob, you were there. We talked about that a little bit. The court. He's got his new T-shirt.
I got two.
What? How do we feel about the in-season tournament so far?
I don't really. It doesn't sway me in one way or the other. I mean, I think I don't want my team to be in the finals of it. If we could, accidentally lose those in-season tournament games because we rested people or whatever, like I would be mad about it. Because you make the finals of that, you're playing an extra game. That's an extra game where a guy can turn an ankle, something stupid can happen where a guy falls wrong or whatever, and then all of a sudden you got an injury to a championship level team. Like, it doesn't really seem like it's, for me as a fan looking for an actual title, it doesn't really seem like it's worth it. But players, if they want it and they're gonna go get it, then I'm not gonna tell them not to.
From what I hear, all the teams want it. Like even like the Nuggets, they want to win it. They want to be the first team to win this thing. That's what's on the line here.
Me, I want to win. You want to win?
Yeah.
Yeah, he want to win too.
Mean anything to Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or Jokic or a player of that caliber, but that matters to a guy like Luke Cornett, O'Shea Brissett. These guys
get money too.
Down there, yeah.
I think the coach's staff does too, so that's huge for staff or something. I don't know if they got like 250K, but I think I heard coaches at least get a lot of money.
Yeah, and you might brush that off too, being like, yeah, it's just money, but Tatum is not going to care about that, but he's going to care about the fact that Luke Cornett can get an extra $500K, at the end of the season if they win, because that's their team, their teammates. If Luke Cornett looks over at Tatum and he's icing his knee and they're in the finals and he doesn't want to play because he's like, we got the playoffs in a few weeks. That's going to basically cost him $500,000. I'd be pissed off. I don't know about you. I'd be pretty mad.
Well, It's also like, isn't the finals for it in December? Like, isn't this shit
Oh.
like over before like
in
the?
Vegas too, right?
Yeah, it's in Vegas, and isn't it over before like even the All Star weekend? I think it would be cool to have it the actual like championship during All Star weekend.
Yeah, that'd be cool with me.
I think that would like because like the All Star game blows.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
not
hate it.
even. I used to love watching the All Star game, but now it's like, why? This is just a scrimmage where nobody gives a shit about it.
And that's now it's
Yeah.
back to East versus West.
It's East versus West, and guys still aren't going to give a shit about it because they don't get anything out of it. But like, if you put this game during All Star weekend, and like you spread the tournament out a little bit farther, so it was only Friday nights instead of like Tuesdays and Fridays or whatever it is now. Like, it would be kind of fun to have that extra game during All Star weekend, and you can have an actual competitive game for like people to tune into. But then
Imagine,
like because the teams that are going to be in the championship with that are probably going to have All Stars on the team too. So those guys are already going to be at All Star weekend doing their thing, and that gives the guys that are like up and comers on the team a chance to go to All Star weekend and see what it's all about, and like be there around the festivities and have them be a part of it too. And I think that would really just boost everything up a little bit better.
I was gonna say, like, I think they should like just scrap the All-Star game. Just make a Team World versus Team USA as the main event. Like, and just make like us be able to vote Team USA and have us be able to vote Team World. And just have like, because that I don't even know. I'm just joking, obviously, but like the All-Star game absolutely
Just
sucks. But
spitballing.
I think honestly, I think if they did USA versus the world, I think the players would actually care more.
No, I still don't think they would give a shit. Like, it
I don't
doesn't
even know.
No, they might care.
That dialogue all summer. I mean, they just don't care about it right now at all. So even just
I think also I think World would just fucking smoke us at this point.
maybe we
A
could find
world
that out.
super
Though.
team. That's a crazy team.
That
I wanna
team
figure it
would
out.
smoke us. I think like you got Luca,
Jokic, Giannis,
Jokic,
Luka, Joel.
Giannis. Like,
Not Joel anymore. Joel's on. He's trying to play for Team USA.
he did commit to Team USA, even though he has like he has citizenship in like 3 different countries, and he's like, no, I want to play for the USA.
Cool USA citizen, United States citizen, Joel Embiid. Although he is
Kinda-
probably a citizen.
we were doing pretty bad in the biggest department when I was thinking about the team. It was like Anthony Davis and Jaren Jackson, and AD like might not be healthy, so we never know.
Yeah.
And Jaren
Uh,
Jackson can rebound.
Oh, you got Wembanyama on Team World too.
Oh shit.
Like
Yeah,
Team
this
World,
small
would-
boy.
Might sweep.
they would smack the shit out of the USA team.
Just think about the world center team. All centers. They probably have
crap.
all the 5 best centers.
This would be
Yeah.
team. Imagine this Team World lineup would be Shea, Luca, Wemby, Giannis, Jokic.
And then off the bench, you got
Like Andrew Wiggins,
Wiggins, Rudy
Jamal.
Gobert,
Jamal Murray, yeah.
Jamal Murray, Luca,
Sabonis,
Sabonis.
Vucevic,
Kawhi
Porzingis,
Leonard.
Porzingis.
Not Kawhi, I mean
Kawhi
fucking Kyrie Irving. Because he's born in
yeah.
Australia.
Oh yeah, Ben Simmons. Yeah,
Ben Simmons too.
Ben Simmons can be the 15th man.
Yeah, like that Team World would wipe the floor with us.
Ben Simmons can be the ball boy. He didn't even want to play.
He can be the mascot in that
Is he-
goofy ass sweater.
Ben Simmons is so confusing this year. He plays like it seems like he plays sometimes, but then every time I go to watch the Nets, he's sitting.
Yeah.
You really sad about that?
I don't know. I haven't seen him play, but I'll see highlights on Twitter sometimes. I think he's
I'm
played like
sad.
every other game.
I'm sad about it. I'd like to see Ben Simmons get back to where he was. I thought
Yeah.
I've seen him play. I don't even know how he.
he was
if
one of my favorite players to watch when he was playing.
To be
Yeah, you-
really that good and not even have a jump shot at all, pretty
That was
impressive.
Rondo. That was Rondo back before, like in the early 2000s.
Yeah, he's like Rondo, but like 6'10".
Yeah,
You know?
crazy defender. Yeah.
He's point forward,
Um,
Rondo.
What would be something interesting in terms of stakes that would make this in-season tournament matter? That would actually make you think that it's worth winning.
Contract stuff.
Okay, well,
But like contract stuff would only go to like the top guys. Like
that's vague.
you're
Yeah.
not putting a thing in Luke Cornett's contract about winning the in-season tournament.
Or maybe it would go across the board. I don't know, but yeah. Other than that, I don't really know.
I think it would be funny if The two teams that like made it, like if it say it was like the Nuggets and the Celtics make it to the finals, the in-season tournament, and they both sat all their starters. And they said, "Hey, we're not hurting our starters for this. Like, hey, all the bench guys go win your money."
Get
Here's-
fined $500,000.
How about this? What if it was like the winner gets an automatic playoff berth?
No, that would be dumb.
Why?
You would have it's a one-off, it's a one and done, and you get a playoff berth. Like, you had it with a shitter team in the playoffs too because they happen to win the tournament. Like, what if like
Yeah.
like that would just be stupid because then they would just get smoked in the first round by the one seed, and the one seed's like happy to do it. Like,
Well, if it's a
Imagine
team
being a
that's
team
good
that
enough
wins
to
it.
win it, I imagine they're not that shitty.
well, I mean, it's also like, hey, like it's also happenstance. Like these first couple games of seeding, and then all of a sudden it's a random game in freaking November. That's like, all right, well, this is a playoff game for the in-season tournament, and oh yeah, freaking Jason Tatum rolled his ankle last game, is not playing. It's a rest game for Al Horford, and like you just lost a random game in November to whatever team and to the freaking Raptors, and then like, oh, they're gonna go to the championship for that.
Yeah,
Like,
but let's say the Hornets win it, right? The Hornets win the in-season tournament. Let's just say that's a random team that's not going to make the playoffs this year. Wouldn't otherwise, I should say. They win it, they get the automatic playoff berth. Let's say the Celtics are going to face them. They're the first seed in the East. They're going to play each other in the first round. Because the Hornets have the playoff berth. What if Jason Tatum like rolls his ankle severely the last week of the season, and now the Hornets like have a shot to win the series because they had that. Don't we want more parity in the league, or do we just want it where the one seed's going to win? Like, what do we want here?
well, it's like there's plenty of times the one seed hasn't won. I don't think the Denver was a one seed last year. I think they shit their pants down the stretch, and I think that somebody else took the one seed.
I thought they had the one seed pretty consistently all last year.
Yeah, at the end
It's
of the
either,
year,
it's either they did it. They definitely had it until the very end. I think they still had it. I think the Grizzlies really got close, but
but even then, like, look, the Heat were an 8 seed last year. They made the finals. Like that was parity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
they were
was
the
the-
one seed the
that was
year
different.
before that. It's like that's like a fake. They were an 8 seed, you know.
No, it wasn't it? Fucking Harrow missed like half the season last year. Like, it wasn't
Well, he
fake.
didn't play in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And they still made it to the finals. There's your parity.
I know, but they were a good team masquerading as a bad team all
It
last
also
season.
it also turns a bunch of it's also logistically hard to do it because that means that like if an East team wins it, then that means the East has what happens to the East playing tournament because now you're
Like,
playing
why would
tournament
you-
because
why
now
would
you
you
have an
break it
extra
up?
team in the East that's in the playoffs, and now you're gonna have an odd number of teams in the playoffs in the East.
No. Let's just say they they get in, and whatever they would like if the Hornets have the worst record out of all the eligible playoff teams, they get the 8 seed. The team that
Yeah,
would have gotten that 8 seed doesn't get to go. They have to go to the play-in, or
But now you have
They
an
won't be
odd
in the
number
play-in.
still because their playing team would have been playing for the 8 seed. And now they're not playing for an 8 seed; they're playing for a 9 seed. Now you
so
have nine.
yeah, they have to win more games to not be the 8 seed. They have to get to the 7 seed.
See, that just doesn't seem fair to the teams that are playing an entire season for a random team just to get a spot. Like you said, the Hornets didn't win anything all year except for that tournament. Now they're going to be in the playoffs, and another
What if
team
the
that's worked
Celtics
their
win?
ass off all years to do it. So they're going to make the playoffs anyways.
Right, but now they know so they don't have to. They're not gonna.
I mean,
they'll
if you're
only
going to
care
do it
about
this
seeding.
way, you have to have the in-season tournament go out throughout the entire year, and you have to
Yeah,
be
obviously it would take some retooling, but
if you have this being decided in December that a team's going to make the playoffs, like if the Nuggets won it and they knew they were going to make the playoffs in December, like Jokic is going to play like 12 games for the rest of the year. Like they're
okay,
not
what
going to
about
care.
what about home court advantage throughout the playoffs? What if that was the
Once
the-
again, then you're
barrier?
just the in-season tournament is supposed to bring more eyes to the game, and you're just cheapening the rest of the regular season because like teams are they're not going to care about it. They're just going to play for just the in-season tournament. Like if the Nuggets got home court advantage because they won, do you think they're actually going to give a shit about the rest of the season? Like if you're
Yeah,
an 8
yeah,
seed, you
'cause
still
they-
have home court, then they're just going to be like, all right, we're just going to half-ass our way to the 8 seed because there's no point in us actually trying for the rest of the year.
Well, it matters who they're going to play.
No, it doesn't because they would have been the 1 seed anyways. They're that good of a team. If your team is that good that you won the in-season
Yeah, but your
tournament,
seed affects who you play in the playoffs. So if they still have to make the playoffs to begin with, and also
well, if you're gonna win, if winning the in-season tournament wins you home court for the whole playoffs, then I would assume that meant that you were already automatic in
If
the
you make
playoffs.
it.
Well, then it's like once again, then the Nuggets don't give a shit. They'll end up being a 5 seed and just have a nice easy course to the playoffs.
So ultimately, it looks like, because I think those are two very important things that would be high stakes. And you said that the goal was to bring more eyes to this tournament. I don't know how making it worth a lot wouldn't bring more eyes. Making it worth more stakes would.
Oh, it would bring more eyes to the tournament, yeah, but it would just cheapen the rest of the season for whoever won it.
The season's already cheapened. They don't play 82. No stars play 82 games. So like, what are we doing here?
Hey, Derek White is a star. All right.
What if we had this in-season tournament, made like the home court advantage
D'Angelo
all the way
Russell wants
out,
to be Derek White.
but shaved off like 10 games?
When he grows
Throughout the
up,
regular
D'Lo's
season.
like, I want to be Derek White when I grow up.
Yeah, D'Lo wants to be Derek White.
Derek, you made no man. D'Angelo made an All-Star game, man. He's down bad.
Yeah, that was
D'Lo.
bad. Poor D'Lo. I don't know.
No,
it's
but
just-
I honestly like I agree. It's tough. You want more eyeballs, but it is tough. You don't really want to fuck with you don't want to start giving some teams edges because then people are gonna whine if it really helps a lot way too much. But maybe they could just make the bag way bigger.
yeah.
like, I
Also, if you're gonna have the tournament
A million each.
that,
But that
like,
doesn't
guys
matter
are
for the
gonna be
fan. The
injured.
fans don't care about that.
But if the players care more, we'll want better. We'll care if we have a good product. Like if we have them playing their ass off because they're getting a million each, we would definitely care.
I think that they need to make the in-season tournament longer. I think it has to be like the whole season. Like right now, it ends in December or whatever. Like you're gonna have like, I think was it like 3 or 4 games of seeding, and then like 3 or 4 games, and that's the championship. Like I think that if you made it a little bit longer, I think it would be better.
Hey, what if, because they're doing East and West again, what if your team automatically gets 3 All-Stars?
I mean, then it's like,
What
So you're
else
gonna
did
have
All-Star-
like, what if the Hornets win it? They're gonna have like
Yeah.
LaMelo, PJ Washington, and Mark Wright or whatever.
Well,
his name-
then
Mark
that'd be
Williams.
crazy if the
Nick
Hornets win it
Richards.
on. If the Hornets win it, that'd be fucking nuts.
yeah, but it's also like,
Realistically, one of the best teams should win it. Realistically,
Well, not
We're
according to
already
Steve,
at-
what Steve's saying.
we're already having problems with the All-Star game and people watching it. Like nobody wants to watch it if the Spurs have like Wembanyama, Jeremy Sochan, and
I would sign up just to have a
Devin Vassell.
guaranteed Wemby there. I would take 3 Spurs if we get 1 Wemby in the All-Star game. I don't know if it's gonna
Wemby's
be
going to be in the All-Star
He's
game.
probably gonna be there anyways.
Well, stats wise, technically not.
It's
But
all voting. though.
I hope they
Spurs
wanna. I
voting.
hope he just gets in. I know, but like still, he only
He probably
averages
wouldn't be a very interesting All-Star game watch, though.
He averages 19 points per game. Like technically, he shouldn't make it, but we all want him to make it.
He's gonna be the only one playing defense.
Tons of guys that didn't average more than 20 made the All-Star game. Rondo was in a couple All-Star games. You know, he never averaged more than like 14 a game.
We usually have to be like one of the best teams ever. Like not like a. They might be like
Al Horford made an All-Star game.
they
Hey,
won
don't
60,
besmirch
you know?
Al Horford.
I love
That's
Al
when-
Horford.
that's when
but,
you're winning, like,
We're
6
talking about
games.
averaging 19 a game. Like that's Al Horford's career.
Not on a losing team though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like look at what Wembanyama does. It's also like it's all voting for fans. The All-Star game's for the fans, and the fans want to see Wemby because Wemby's a fucking alien.
Does it feel like is the All-Star game for the fans? Doesn't feel like it.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's why they have all the fan voting. That's why the fan voting is who decides to go. That's
You're
why
so
like
sweet.
they're trying to make it better for the fans because right now the product sucks. And the
With
fan
Jimmy Butler there, he
coaches
doesn't even
are
want to
down.
be there.
So I guess I want to get to, so is this in-season tournament, Steve, is this a general positive thing or is it a waste of time? What is it to you?
I think it's just a neutral. I mean, I don't really see it as positive or negative. I mean, it's gonna be fun when they have the championship game. Well, I think that'll be fun because it'd be like a little bit. You're playing for something in the middle. It's a tournament game or whatever. But like right now, they gotta clean up. Like, all right, this game's a tournament game. This game's not a tournament game, and like make it a little bit more clear on what they're doing. In the next couple of years, once they figure all that out, it'll be better. But that one game in Vegas that they're gonna play for the championship, that'll be fun. It's more basketball, so I mean, I guess I would lean towards positive, but. You know, I swear to God, if we play that fucking game and like Porzingis like fucks up his knee or something like that, God forbid, like because we're playing for an in-season tournament game and fucking that ruins our championship chances, like I'm gonna be pissed.
Jacob,
Yeah,
what about you? Positive, negative, neutral?
I was gonna say, I think it's pretty neutral, trending slightly positive, unless there's like obviously it's almost like if there's no injury and it's a fun championship, it's positive, obviously. But that's kind of how it goes. I think that the people groaning about the court are kind of crazy. It's like we have 81 games of regular court, 82 games of regular courts. So come on, like
Yeah.
we've had it for like it's whatever, man. And unless they're just testing us and now they're like, oh, they're fine with alternative courts and we get them all the time, that'd suck. But like if this is just a couple games, whatever.
I wouldn't
think-
hate an alternative court every once in a while. I mean, like,
Yeah, I wouldn't either, but
Boston,
people
the parquet is special, but like even then, like something different. Every once
Every
in a
other team changes the court like to a different
it looked
style.
sick.
Like every
First
year.
person, I was there and it looked sick.
The
The
people
Hornets
that
have a
complain-
goddamn honeycomb.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the Hornets and shit like that. If those fans are complaining, it's like, dude, you have a different court every third day. Like, what do we? Like, you don't
You
have
gotta
any
do
kind of
something to,
history
like-
behind your court. Like, your
Yeah.
team didn't exist fucking 10 years ago. Like, what are you complaining about?
Yeah, I think I would say I appreciate that it's a swing at something new.
Yeah.
It's a injection of fresh ideas. So it might not be what everybody wants it to be at this current juncture in time, but it's a swing, and I appreciate that. So we'll see as it progresses along. The Celtics are 1-0 in the group stage, so I'm looking forward to them hopefully being the first team to take that trophy home.
Cody, you're a soccer fan, right?
Yeah.
So like you it's kind of like it's very, very soccer-esque, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they're kind of going for the international, I think, take on this, honestly, with having like a kind of exhibition tournament.
Yeah, he wants it to be like the FA Cup in the
Yeah.
English Premier League, where like any team can technically win it, even though it's almost always going to go to like a Man City or a Chelsea or something, like a big league, like a big time squad. But like they put teams from English Premier League, like Division 2, in that tournament to play against these big teams and try and get like a tournament. And it's a staple in football, English Premier League football. So yeah, it's an effort to grow the game in that vein. And
Dude,
it's
imagine
cool.
if there was a tournament abroad to be able to play us in the in-season tournament championship.
What do you mean? Like play
Like
abroad?
like EuroLeague versus like there's like a teams play like teams like play all around the globe in like a tournament, like the best international teams, and then they face the winner. I'm just thinking of I just want to be able to see like the best EuroLeague team.
Is that
fit-
not the FIBA World Cup? Like, isn't that exactly what that is?
That's like I'm talking about like almost like how people argue did the Denver Nuggets, are they the best team in the world? Because they didn't fit that's I'm talking about like Denver Nuggets versus the best.
Oh, like
team-
European club teams.
Yeah, I'm saying like what
Yeah.
if they competed in brackets to be able to play us on a big stage, being like the
That would be
best
cool.
world team versus the best.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that's why maybe that could be a way to do it. In a
See
way,
if the
like,
Hornets can beat like, I don't know, Real Madrid. But
what if the team that wins the
basketball version.
tournament, the team that wins this tournament like represents the NBA versus the world? I don't even know.
But I mean, like we talked about this earlier. Like we got guys playing in Taiwan. Like Dwight Howard's winning 3-point shooting contests in Taiwan at like
Sure.
30 years old. Like
We should win, but it's
Stephon
almost like
Marbury played until he was 45 and like was still averaging 30 a game over there. Like
Yeah, but I
it's a
think there's
different-
there's incentive there though for the players. Like Jason Tatum can grow his brand if he's playing in Europe, and he's getting new eyes on how he plays. Like, and not to mention the European players who are obviously have skin in the game. They want to show out for their.
They want to see if
over
they can
there.
make it to the league. Yeah.
So
they
like,
would go so hard, yeah.
but even
no guy
the
who goes-
American, even like Jokic, like he probably, if he goes to Serbia, he's probably going to want to show out for, maybe not. He seems like the type of guy who probably doesn't care at all. But like a Luka Doncic, maybe he'd probably want to show out internationally on like an international stage. So it's that is a fascinating idea. Maybe we should get on the horn with Adam Silver and float that one to him.
Yeah.
He was
Maybe
just on
we'll
the
see
JJ
what-
Redick pod. Let's get him on here.
maybe we'll shoot us a couple pairs of Skims too to wear.
Nice to get him in quadruple XL because
Only
that's
Adam Silver over here endorsing underwear with Kim K.
all right. I mean, that's about it on the Celtics. So generally we're feeling good about this team. Where what's the temp?
On a scale of 88 degrees Fahrenheit to what, like,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm feeling like 9 out
No
of 10.
concern.
Only 9 out of 10. No real concern. Like some weird trends that I'm gonna keep an eye on throughout the season. But
What's the most negative trend in your eyes so far?
I mean, there's two that are tied for me. One's rebounding. I mean, we give up a lot of offensive rebounds. We have the third best rebounding percentage in the league, but I feel like we give up timely offensive rebounds that like put us in bad situations.
Interesting.
That's been bothering me. Not finishing plays on defense. That's driving me up a wall. When your team is this big, you should be rebounding better. And just the on-off numbers for Tatum is the other thing that's I've been keeping an eye on. I mean, Tatum's a plus 166 this year. Like that's unbelievable.
Gross.
I mean, in minutes that he's not playing this year, like the Celtics are like a net negative.
And Al Horford's plus 300.
Is he really?
No, I don't know. There was just at a time there was like 2 games in a row he was plus 20 though, but he only had there was a couple box scores in a row that ripped the Trill Withers show. They pointed out like I think 2 shows in a row that like he had like 9 points was plus 30 though.
Yeah,
like I don't know what the hell is he doing out there, dude.
He's out there for the Pacers game while they just get blown out. But like the team is too talented to be a net negative when Tatum's not on the floor. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Steve, I agree. With the rebounding, we have size, but we don't have like skilled. We don't have people that are like one of their best abilities is rebounding.
Well, Tatum's averaging 9 a game.
Tatum. Yeah, I guess Tatum, but like we need like a Quincy AC or something.
Yeah,
shout out.
That was a great video I watched earlier and sent that to the squad.
I would definitely splice it here if the YouTube wouldn't flag this video in 2 seconds.
All the money we're making on it.
Okay, Jacob, any negative trends you're noticing or concerned
Yeah,
with?
just kind of like what Steve was saying, just like kind of like I guess Jalen shit in the bed sometimes. Not feel like Jalen. He is. I mean, it's tough to say because he had a really good last 2 games, but like he'll vanish from the Robin role every once in a while. But Tatum also can just give those turn. It's honestly the classic JT JB stuff, but I'm just hoping that the pieces we have around them will figure out that. I'm hoping that like Drew Holiday will be enough to keep it like once he's already gotten so I'm so impressed with how him and KP have really just floated in a new system that they've never played in like so easily. And the fact that like we've honestly won a decent bit of close-ish games already, and we're already not even that messy. We've had only a couple messy games. I feel like we're gonna tighten up a bit. So the negatives I'm probably 9-2, same with Steve, but it could be 10 by All-Star break if we're like rolling, but we still have some stuff.
I think that a lot of the times what we're seeing with JB and JT vanishing a little bit is just a factor of now you have Porzingis and Drew Holiday out there now. It's a lot of, hey, let these guys get their shots up and trying to find like Jaylen Brown was obviously going to be the one that was going to have the hardest time fitting with this new offense. Like he's a finisher on plays. And now when Tatum goes to the bench, like they're asking him to initiate the offense, and it's not what he does. Like he's not his playmaking isn't at that level yet. I hope he can improve on it this year so that we can have him running more when Tatum's on the court. But like I feel like a lot of what we're seeing is just early season learning around what the other guys are doing, and that's why the numbers are coming up and down a little bit for Tatum and Brown.
Interesting. I think there's a little bit of truth in everything you guys have said. My only concern would be maybe I feel like we need another bench piece. Somebody who can score. Sam Hauser's taken that mantle, and it looks pretty good, but
he was nice last game.
I just feel like we're gonna maybe need one more player, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who yet.
Honestly, I think we have because honestly in the playoffs and finals, you really only need 7 or 8, but we need like one more person almost more for like the season in the first round just to kind of get through all like the slog and like the keep everyone healthy. But in the finals, you kind of need just like 7 or 8, which we kind of almost have. But I feel like we just need people to like put some muscle into the season to get, I don't know, some shit off KP's back size wise.
You can get away with 7 in the playoffs. I mean, that's what Denver was doing in the finals. They're only playing 6, 7 guys. You just need innings eaters for the for the regular season, 82 games. You just need guys that can go in there and give you 15, 20 minutes. Brissett, his energy has been unbelievable. If he can get that 3-pointer to go down, like, he'll be a big part of it. Stevens, same with him. I love their energy. Those guys are great rebounders. Like, you see those guys get timely offensive rebounds to really get the team going, but you really need innings eaters. Cody's right. I think we need just one more like legit piece on the bench.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong when Nemius Queta comes back
God, I
from
hope
his
so.
foot injury. That, I mean, what happened to his foot? Did it get chopped off? Like, why is he not played a single game yet? What is going on with that? One last thing I did want to talk about over the last few games was the end of that Raptors game, where it was the out of bounds call that was wrong. I believe Pritchard. It was, I forget who it went off of. I didn't quite catch it. I saw it out of the corner of my eye because the game was long over. But it was like a 50-50 call. Pritchard was arguing that, it was off on the Raptors player. Once again, I don't remember who. Siakam, maybe? And he asked for the review, and the Celtics were up probably at the time by 15 points in the fourth quarter. And with
20.
with like 3 minutes left, I think.
Game was like
the game was over. And Missoula listened to Pritchard because, and he gave the green light special, and they reviewed it. And while it was being reviewed, it seemed that the Raptors, including their new coach, who I forget his name, took up umbrage with that, being like, why are you doing that? Why are you challenging this? You won the game. Like, what are you doing? Why this really matters to you? It's over already.
Yeah, Schroeder said it was disrespectful.
Yeah. And I read an article in the Athletic about that, and I really liked Missoula's response to that. He's like, I don't think negatively or positively about it either way about the Raptors' reaction. He's like, I think that everybody on this team, including the bench players who don't get normal time like the starting five do, they work their ass off to get to the spot to play in the NBA. They work their ass off every single day to be here. So why would I not give it my all as a coach, which includes challenging plays when they're 50-50 calls, even when we're winning, just because they're out there? Why would I not do that? Why would I not give the same amount of effort when they're out there as when Jason Tatum's out there and it's a close game? And like, they interviewed Pritchard after that. He's like, he loved that response, from Missoula. He's like, I think Coach Missoula really does like appreciate us out there, and he cares about me as much as he cares about Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. So I think that type of mindset, and that made me like Missoula more, despite him fucking that up. The few games up before with not calling timeouts and stuff, and his quirks. He's a quirky guy, but I really like that little mindset that he brings to this locker room. That he cares about the last guy as much as he cares about the first guy.
Even you saying that made me want to run through a wall. So that was good. That was a good spin zone, definitely. Like, honestly, like that. And honestly, I completely agree too. You don't want to just be like, you don't want to tell these like players that are fighting for like the garbage time that their minutes don't even matter. So I'm not going to even look at like, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like, we were just talking about, like, the bench needs work and we need to make sure that we're having a good bench. I mean, what better time? You got 3 minutes of the bench. Like, give these guys every opportunity you can and show them, hey, like, we're behind you. We want you to succeed. Here's how I'm going to coach you. This is what I want you to do. Like, if I can get you an extra possession in a game and get you some extra reps, like, let's do it. Like, it's only going to help everybody out in the long term.
Yeah.
Oh, and going back to the in-season tournament too, they have aggregate points, like how many points you've won by or whatever. So at the end of the games, there's going to be teams trying to score, even though like they're up by 20 points or whatever. There's still going to be teams trying to score at the end of games, and
interesting
to get that points up for the next games.
The point differential, yeah, that's very European soccer-ish.
Very Euro soccer, but it also helps you stop from having an extra game, which I like. We already have one extra game for the championship team, so. But yeah, back to Missoula, that was a great quote. I love that so much. I was very excited to hear him talk about that.
Yeah, I'll try and send you guys the article because it was a nice read. I liked it. It made me like Missoula as a person.
Was that Jay King wrote that one?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that was Jay. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. So Schroeder, former Celtic, I get why he's pissed, but come on, dude. Like, just because you're a starter doesn't mean like, I don't know.
I get where he's coming from though too. At the same time, he's not looking at it as, oh well, these guys are playing for bench minutes and they're trying, like, he's just looking at it like, hey, we already lost. It just seems like a little bit of rubbing it in. But from Missoula's standpoint, I see it though. Like, from a player standpoint, they're not thinking like, oh, these bench guys need to get coached. Like, he's thinking, all right, this game's over. I'm tired. I busted my ass for this whole game to lose, and now you guys are scrounging an extra possession when you're up by 25 points in the fourth quarter. Like, I can see it.
Yeah, and to that, I liked Missoula's response where he's like, I don't care about
He doesn't
either way, positive or negative. It's not about them. It's about my guys.
Like,
So,
I'm gonna go watch The Town on the plane, and we're gonna have a good time.
like, did you see the coach? He has he has some sort of like Russian name or something. The
I
Ravens
have
coach.
no idea. I was watching that game last night, and I was
Best
like, I don't know who this guy is.
He came over and like got a Missoula's face, and Missoula's like, dude, what? Like, come on, you're a coach. You should, like, why are you?
He was like, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, we can do this.
Oh, Missoula's definitely a type of nutbag. I would not want to fight him. He's got like
He's a
1,000
Rhode,
miles.
he's a Rhode Island dude. Like, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, he's fucking, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he sleeps with his mouth taped closed.
Yeah, optimum breathing. Like, shut up.
He plays pickup and gets his eyeball scratched out of his head.
Scratches and shit, and has to wear sunglasses and miss games coaching because of it. Like, you fucking wild boy.
Funny stuff. Good stuff from Coach Missoula. But one last
7 and 24 is Missoula's record as a coach.
67 and 24.
Yeah, like, that's pretty fucking good.
For being a 34-year-old first-time head coach. Yeah.
Yeah, like, if people like, we're gonna nitpick that he didn't call timeout at the end of a Wolves game, it's like, all right, like, let's take a bird's eye view on this and look at the whole picture and see what's really is going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because I do pick on that stuff, maybe unjustly, maybe justified. Like, but
We
when
have
it
to have
comes,
something to pick on.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no perfect coach out there. I don't care who you are, Greg Popovich down to Tom Thibodeau, So, like, I don't know, when you're contending for a title, the thinnest of margins matter. It could literally come down to you not calling a timeout when you needed to call a timeout. And he has a habit, at least last season he did, where it bit him in the ass in the regular season multiple times that he didn't call a timeout. He wanted to see what his players got, when they're up against the clock or whatever. I get it. I get trying things out, but it was to the point where it was a persistent habit, and it became, a nagging habit. And it didn't ultimately cost them a championship or anything. They just got outclassed by the Heat. But I do think when you're playing a team like the Nuggets, when all things are basically equal on paper, it comes down to the margins. And that is, he's 35 years old, 34 years old. He's doing a great job, dare I say. But when you're contending for that, window is only open for so long, then it's slammed shut. And, I when it does slam shut, I want to have a few titles when it does, instead of just multiple ECF visits. So yeah. Anyways, speaking of title windows slamming shut, James Harden on as a Clipper, not going well. 0 for 4.
Yeah. Lost their last 5 games in a row. The last 4 of them had James Harden included in them. They had some bad losses too. They had some losses to some like bad teams.
Speaking of titles, the defending champions, you see what just happened to them?
Noah.
He's lost to the Rockets.
Whoa.
Rockets are surprising.
I mean, I guess it's because Jamal obviously is out.
Jesus
But
Christ, Jacob. The way you said that scared the shit out of me. I thought like Jokic tore his ACL or something. I was about to have a heart attack.
oh no, the thing is, the Nuggets. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. did fine, but no one else fucking helped him. Jokic, I'm gonna go look at his stat line. It's actually better than you're thinking right now. I'm like, oh, Jacob's about to say a crazy Jokic stat line.
And honestly, you could say anything, I wouldn't.
Bro, he's like 45, 12, and 18 or something like that. And I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It was 36, 21, and 10. He had 30, 20, 10, and they lost. 36 too, not even like 31. Like he had 36, 21, and 11.
Holy crap, dude.
and they lost.
Dude,
That's
that was Giannis. Giannis the other night against the Magic. He had like 54 points on 75% shooting, and they still lost.
well,
Now, I
okay.
will give
Well,
them
the
a-
thing about Giannis is that Giannis had 8 turnovers. That
Yeah.
Jokic was,
He didn't have Dame Lillard that game.
yeah,
And Jokic didn't have Jamal Murray this game.
yeah.
I think
Well-
it's a little. I know Jokic gets a lot of praise. He should, but what Jamal Murray does for that team is, maybe a little understated at times. And I think his loss is going to be pretty impactful for them.
Well, this is like the whole like Denver can win a title with 7 people, but you need more to win the season because you have your one player will be out for a couple months. You need people to step in. Like they need Jamal to win. So
And
they
the other
need everyone
defender-
healthy at all times, which they had that in the playoffs, luckily. But that's why we need like 10 guys solid in the season, just because one of our top 7 is gonna be injured probably at all times.
Yeah, and
Don't
when you're
know.
one of the
Don't
top tier
know.
teams in the league, you always have a target on your back. Like
Yeah.
the Nuggets aren't looking at the Rockets like, yeah, we have to really step up our game for this, but the Rockets are looking at the Nuggets like, we got a shot taking down the defending champs tonight.
He did
So-
that in 38 minutes too. Good.
Damn,
38
that's the craziest part of the stat line.
Most
36
guys
and
are playing
21 and
overtime
11.
game to get those numbers.
That's like my career level stuff.
It's playing the game on easy mode, dude.
Got the easy
What is-
sliders on.
That's insane. Yeah, and Ime Udoka is the type of guy who likes, and for all the things that happened off the court, I think he's the type of guy who likes to get in his players' asses and keep them accountable, and that's probably why the Rockets are playing so far above their level.
Yeah.
Not to mention they have an influx of talent with Fred VanVleet and Şengün taking a step forward. But
Jones played like the best of like the Grizzlies' great team last year. He's like playing as good as Desmond Bain.
the Dylan Brooks slander was
It's
insane.
crazy.
And deservedly so. On like he looked like he was on his way out the NBA doors at the end of his Grizzlies tenure. Like they didn't want to bring him back. They said while he was still playing for them, we're not bringing you back. So like, the fact that he was persona non grata in the league basically and in the NBA discourse, and now he's like an actual valuable piece on a scrappy team is good for him.
And
Good for him.
Ime is really gonna I'm happy that Ime. I mean, whatever he did off the court, but I'm happy for Jalen Green and Jabari Smith's career that he's there because I feel like he's like really gonna like if they had a few bad coaches in a row, who knows what happens to Jalen Green's career because he's the street baller type.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get them early and like tell them how to play, like teach them how to play defense and like be a pro, you could be fucked forever.
Yeah.
Almost like there are a lot of players like that. And like Fred is almost like a good vet, and I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah,
They
Jeff
made
Green
they
will
made
play
some
too.
of the best goddamn moves in the offseason. Like
They
from
looked
bringing in the
weird. Like
coach.
Dylan looked weird. Like the Dylan Brooks, he's been really showing that he shouldn't have been thrown in the trash.
But I think what you're seeing with the Grizzlies is that it was never Dylan Brooks' fault. It
No.
was like the culture. It was the team culture, and it starts from their star player.
But also, to be fair to the Grizzlies, you are missing Ja, Steven Adams, and Clark too.
True. That's not
That's a
not Clark's
huge
injury
loss.
and Steven Adams. I almost give Steven Adams.
There's 6 men too. Jones was their 6 man last, like off the bench point guard. Do you remember when Ja was like not even playing for like 20 games last? Ja didn't play a lot last year, and they were like really good still. That was because like was it it's Tyus Jones. I
Yeah.
mean Tyus Jones was like their starting point guard in that stretch, and they
He's
lost.
on the Wizards now.
Yeah, they lost him in the KP Smart.
They lost a lot of pieces this year, and it's like, all right, well now we got Marcus Smart and Jaren Jackson Jr. to really level the ship here, and it's like that's not really gonna work, except for when you play the Los Angeles Clippers because they're a fucking dumpster fire, and Marcus Smart made an unbelievable fucking play to win that game.
Combo Smart and David Roddy. Biz was trying to set the screen. Smart lost the ball. Oh, wow. To Roddy, who scored?
Marcus Smart's been kind of good, I think.
He's been good. He's been just as good as he's been exactly what they're asking him to do. It's just unfortunate because they need like a lot. He's just really. But like, did you see that play he had yesterday or the day before?
Against,
It's one of the best plays of his career.
I'll have to check it out.
He went diving like head first, and like while he was diving, he like flipped it up with his hand up,
No,
up,
that was tonight.
Yeah, oh,
That
it's
was
tonight.
tonight
That,
against the Clippers. That was
Dude,
to win
that-
the game.
that was so elite, dude. They went perfect assist.
Backhanded it like he was an infielder and just flipped it up to the guy
Yeah, he
to,
just-
for a dunk.
I don't know
Dude,
how he even did it,
50
too.
seconds
It's actually
left
kind of
in the
it's
5-point
making me
lead.
it's making me really sad talking about this.
Yeah, it was the most Marcus Smart player. He drove through like 3 guys, lost the ball, trying to do too much at the end of the game, laid out for it, and just flipped it up to a guy for a game-winning assist. It was like, all right,
Barreled
that's-
over, ran over like 4 people.
yeah, like it couldn't have been any more Marcus Smart than that. It was one of those no, yes plays that Marcus
Yeah.
Smart always has.
Just according to plan, because he dove and flipped it right up for the assist.
Oh man, I miss him. But hey, hopefully he does better in Memphis. But speaking of not doing better in their new town, James Harden, I am a system. That's what
I
he
have the
said.
system.
I am the system. Yeah.
The septic system.
Yeah, exactly. And did you see the Mavericks reporter like eviscerate Harden?
Yeah, he was like their announcer or whatever. And it was
That
like,
was mean. That was just
I listened to
mean.
like the first like 30 seconds, like I can't listen to this.
Oh, because it
Yeah,
was
I
like
it was the same way actually. I didn't actually listen to the whole thing. I was like, I don't even. I agree, but man,
I was like, after the first 30 seconds, it's like I know exactly where this is going. I really don't need to listen anymore of this.
it was so goddamn mean. I feel
How about
bad.
with that game too? It's along the theme too. How about of new homes? Grant's like Dylan Brooks. He kind of. I feel like Grant kind of ended on bad terms. No, we still liked Grant, but in general, he got like just absolutely pooped on by Jimmy Butler out the door. He had that awful moment, and then out the door, and he's been pretty damn good for the Mavericks. He's been like their third best player on a
What a
7.
knockdown shooter, shooting like 40% from 3 this year.
I think it might be like 50 right now.
I tell you what, playing with a guy like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, that all you have to do is just sort of be the lone yodeler out there in the corner.
Stick your hand up, and one of them will find it.
Hello, because they're gonna collapse. They have to stop Luka and Kyrie.
Have you
So
watched any of the game? Like, have you watched a Dallas game yet? He looks
Pieces
like
of
kinda, he like kind of runs their defense in ways too. It's actually kind of like he's wicked vocal in a way that like he's not able to be here. He's actually taking the role, it seems, of
Yeah.
like being the defensive
Yeah.
leader, which is kind of crazy.
Especially over there. It's not hard to be the defensive leader over there. Like there was no defense over there before he got there.
Zero. That was their issue.
good for our Celtics of days in the past. Good for them landing on their feet. Good for the Clippers that you made the deal. And
got what
you're
you
paying
wanted.
for it.
And you made your bed, now you lie in it.
Well, we'll see. Who knows? It's Harden's talking about how he's not even in shape yet. So he's got to get back in shape,
Sick.
and we'll see.
fat
Maybe he's right.
I don't think even if he's in shape, I don't think it changes much. Like he's airballing threes and shit. Like they don't know what to do.
Any other NBA stuff around the league
Did
before
we
we jump
talk
into?
Rob Williams?
Oh yeah, Rob
That
Williams. Yeah,
last pod? Did we talk about that?
I guess you got to. No, it happened in between. In term, we were just way to end it on a bad note, Steve.
Hey, we
Robert
don't have-
Williams, he's going to be done for the year with knee surgery. He's going to miss the rest of the season. Awful, not good.
Terrible. I hate to see that for Rob. Rob's a great guy. Really worked his ass off. If you saw this, you've seen he was taking jumpers this year. That was the first offseason he's had where he's healthy, so he could actually work on his NBA game since he's been in the league. And like he was taking like turnaround jumpers on the block and mid-range jumpers, just spreading out the defense. And you saw that early in the season, and that was something he's going to work on. And then all of a sudden, it's back to the injured for not until next season.
What do you think? When did this happen? Did he just get injured, or like did he
There was
have
something where like
this?
he hit knees with somebody on something, and then his tendons are already all messed up. So I'm sure that something like all that, just too much pressure on it, and he was hobbling around, I guess, for the rest of the game, and they took him out, and then I guess it was a couple days later they got the results back on the MRIs and whatnot.
Do you think it's a bit like how Cade Cunningham needed to get that surgery last year? Where it's like you can play through it if you wanted, but
Well, he played through it when it's the other knee. It's a different knee. It's not the same one that's been bothering him. So that's a little bit. And I guess it's a positive and a negative. I mean, it's
But
a
like the
That what Wade did?
Trailblazers, they benefit from shutting him down.
Yeah, they're going to tank anyway, so it doesn't matter to them. And it's better for him to get the full-on surgery, have a full year to recover and everything like that.
Hmm.
So I guess it's
they're
kind
going
of
to trade him anyways because they're probably going to build around Ayton. They don't really make a whole lot of sense together. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Makes a lot of sense to build around Ayton either. So
Well, just as your centerpiece, you know, they're building around
Scoot
Scoot.
Henderson is going to be their centerpiece.
He's their centerpiece, but this in terms of the center spot, the center, the
is
centerpiece of the center spot.
Which sucks. How much longer is Aiden under contract for before they can get off of that? Because
I think him and Rob are both on the contract for a while now, for like at least 2 more years, right?
yeah, I would keep Rob. I would just try and get rid of Aiden.
It's
Ayton
far
is
too
good.
early to put the nail in the coffin. But speaking of Scoot, he's not been good.
He's hurt too, right?
Yeah, in his 5 games, he only averaged like 8 points on 30%.
I mean, DeAndre Ayton's averaging 8 points too.
Yeah, I know that's the thing. It's too early to tell because the team sucks. But if this is their only sample size, and if he kind of continues to be whatever, they're definitely gonna have to tank hardcore to try to kind of get another big swing at the draft.
I mean,
But
everybody
not
thought
like
they were.
Scoot's gonna be bad, but Scoot might need a few more years. They can't be like good enough with. They probably can't be good enough with. Scoot's not gonna be like Anthony Edwards, probably in my opinion, like of like good immediately in the
No.
way that like he if like think if like Anthony Edwards had like the Timberwolves like the Trailblazers right now, they'd be pretty decent. I don't know. I think they're gonna have to keep tanking for like 3 years. At least. So Rob being injured is not the worst for them, but I just what is Rob's contract right now? He has like 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah, he's under contract, and I think it's a pretty good contract too. Like
Not crazy expensive at
it's
all.
it's movable. Yeah,
But also for his sake, he's not like stressed.
Oh, he's
over
got his
contract.
bag. He's got
He's
his
not-
bag, which is what we all want to see for him.
Yeah. and
how
he's not
about
stressed
just
with a
in
rush.
terms of the Scoot Henderson discourse, Brandon Miller. We for a guy who was getting rankled before he came into the league, you know, for not watching any basketball. Like he's seen from the highlights that I've seen, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not watching a lot of Hornets games. He seems to have a pretty good bag. Like he seems to be pretty good. You know,
It's weird because they got him coming off the bench on that team too.
He's I'm looking at his stats right now. No, not his game stats. In 31 minutes this season, he's shooting 42% from the field, not great from 3, 27% from 3, 80% from free throw, 4 boards, 2 assists, a block, a steal, and 13 points a game.
Blocking a steal is pretty good for a rookie.
Yeah. Not bad. I mean, he's not Wembanyama's probably going to win Rookie of the Year, him or Chet. But you know, good for Brandon Miller if he can be an actual piece in this league, you know.
Yeah, I mean he's only going to get better too. Like a lot of these, like a lot of times you talk about this discourse about these guys, like they are what they are first year in the league. Like no, guys take jumps every year.
And
Yeah, you just gotta hope they're in a system that like helps them. Like I just fear that he's in the Hornets.
speaking of good rookies, I guess this is a good transition. Osar Thompson on my fantasy basketball team. He's lighting it up, folks.
Menace.
Didn't he have crazy rebounds tonight?
He had, I'm looking, 16 boards tonight. Wow.
He had like 7 in the first like 5 minutes of the game or something like that. I saw somebody tweet.
He's 9 points, 3 turnovers, 1 block, 2 assists, and 16 boards.
I thought he was like a wing.
He's a tall guard.
They're freaky athletic though. Him and the other one, right? There's twins.
He's
yeah,
a tweener.
they're both at like 40-inch verticals. They're
Yeah,
they're like
both
very much.
stupid, like athletic. That's what it is. They're just ball hawking, is what they are.
Osar Thompson's
the-
ranked the 4th best guard.
And the other one's
in
on the
fantasy
the
basketball.
Sun- The other one's on the Rockets, right?
Yeah, Amon.
So he's like
Thompson.
kind of perfect on that team too, like the gritty team. Like and the one on the Pistons, Asar, he's like seems like the better one, but they're both pretty damn solid. It
I
seems.
saw that the guy for the Rockets didn't even play.
Amen.
He didn't even
Yeah,
play.
he was out. Yeah.
He might be injured or something. Who's Osar play for?
The
Detroit?
Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I figured he was a high draft pick, so I figured he probably went to one of them.
Didn't they go right after each other? One after the other?
I think it was. I think it was just like the Morris twins.
I'm on my way to another fantasy basketball win. I'm up 400 points on the last night. Steve, you are losing a tough one, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't have fucking anybody playing this week. Fucking Rozier missed like 2 or 3 games. Donovan Mitchell missed a game. Devin Booker hasn't played since Vietnam.
You're moving to 2-1-0.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one if I can't figure out some scoring.
But on to the winners. I should just show you because I can share my screen. Into the winners bracket is Jacob.
Jacob's fucking probably gonna like sweep this year.
Well, no, he's not because he lost
No,
2
I'm not
games.
doing that good.
Isn't that you, Jacob? Top performer.
Yeah,
Well, no, I
Jacob,
tied one.
you did. It does says you
Tied my
won.
first game.
Wait, where the hell are you,
Well,
Jacob?
where are you?
No, that's surprisingly.
Oh, he's down the
I'm
bottom.
Jakob Porta Potties. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, all the way down the
Oh,
bottom.
that's not you. What, Jacob? What the hell? Well, either way, you're gonna win.
Yeah, that's Billy probably being a.
Fucking
Let's go.
Billy.
But then I'll be 1-1-1. I got first. I tied the first week with yeah, it was not a. Forget what team exactly. It's the only other team with a tie.
Where I
obviously.
laid my wood at.
Yeah. We had the most points in the league the first week, and we tied, and then we both lost the second week.
Looks like I'm taking home the scoring title this week. Thanks in part to Tyrese Halliburton balling out and Osar Thompson. So that's where we're at. Who do we got next week?
I did one.
Oh, I
other
got
week.
Steve.
Boy.
Who do I have?
You have Joke Me Off.
Fuck. Does he have Joker?
Probably.
I would say yes.
Yeah, but I don't have Jakob Portal, so.
Yeah, he does have Jokic.
He does. Right in the middle.
Where is he?
Utility. First
Oh, yeah,
utility.
right there. Yeah, you should take this team down.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because Kawhi Leonard's going to be playing bad, yeah.
I'm glad Jared Allen's back.
All right. Let's get into some grid action and wrap this puppy up.
Quick grid.
All righty.
Fred Van Fleet for the top left.
No.
Didn't he
Oh,
just
yeah.
get traded there?
No, he's on the fucking Rockets.
I was on the Rockets on the Blazers. I always get the Rockets and the Blazers mixed up.
Oh, no. When does
Do you think Andre Miller for Blazers, Cavs?
Says when he played on there, Cody.
Andre Miller
Oh.
for Cavs, Blazers.
Andre Miller.
For Cavs, Blazers. Yeah, I don't know if it
Goddamn idiot. That's freaking hilarious. Oh, when
They
did
could do,
Arvydas Sabonis play?
It's a 95, it said.
Oh, nice.
Jerome Kersey.
Here,
Yeah. Rip.
nice
Good
goal.
pull.
I mean, there's definitely better ones though. You could even. This is a whole decade of Trailblazers players. We could get a.
Maybe Oakley for the Bulls, I think, right? It says 1993, Cody.
Here's a picture. Huh? His picture's a Bulls picture, surprisingly.
Did Grant play for the Cavs? What about Jerami?
Rondo.
For the Lakers 80s, you should do Michael Cooper.
You can do Rondo for either one of the middle ones that's left.
Damn, all gold.
I don't know which one it would probably be more rare for.
For which one?
Rondo.
He fits in either of these.
I mean, Wade wouldn't be rare, but he would be Bulls, Cavs.
He might be rare. People forget that he played for the. Not that rare, I guess.
Damn, he's still that much of a legend.
Wait, did Rondo play for the Cavs? I don't think he did.
I think he did for 1 year.
He really could have, but I.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Lakers,
goals.
Cavs, Timothy Mozgov.
He's going to be a high one. He always gets guessed.
Does he?
Oh, I guess not.
He looks like Jokic.
That's a fugly picture of him.
Hey, I just said he looked like Jokic, man. Don't do me dirty like that.
Jokic's not the best looking guy. We can be honest here. Why do I feel like Jerami Grant played for like? He fits in here. He has to.
Jeremy Grant honestly might have been traded to the Raptors and just not played for some reason. Maybe I'm thinking that, but
What about
what did
Quincy AC?
Grievous Vasquez touch another team?
He might have been Blazers.
Or the Lakers, dude. Try Raptors, Lakers, Grievous Vasquez.
Vasilis Spanulis. I'm just gonna try that for giggles.
He played for
Not
1 year. I
never.
don't think he could have played for both of them.
Andre Ingram, isn't that the guy?
Yeah, Andre Ingram. But I don't think he ever played for anybody other than the Lakers.
Where did Mac McClung play for?
Toronto. He
Didn't he
played
play
for
for-
Philly.
Yeah, he played for Philly.
Danny Green fits here.
Danny Green fits everywhere.
He fits here. He fits pretty much in like all these categories too.
Greg Monroe.
For this,
Bulls Raptors, I think. Oh, I love Greg Monroe. Oh, no, 5.
Earl Boykins.
I was gonna say we just gotta think about like, just like Raptors teams.
Chris Bosh.
No, he doesn't fit.
Andrew Bynum.
That might fit.
Did Amir Johnson play on any of these teams?
That's who I was trying to think of. I couldn't remember his fucking name. Amir Johnson. Did Amir Johnson play for the Bulls?
Oh wait, I got one for you. Marco Bellinelli for the Bulls Raptors. I'm pretty sure he touched on the.
Marco Bellinelli never gets guessed.
I remember Marco so much. It's just because of his. He was like hitting all the shots on us when he was on the Bulls. I felt.
It was so frustrating.
Quincy AC.
No, I don't think so.
Probably Bonzi Wells.
Did Brandon Roy go over to fucking
Fuck.
the Raptors after he
I think he only played for the Grizzlies after his Trailblazers. What about Greg Oden? He had to have gone to one other team. No. What's the who's the dude who played with Paul George on the Pacers?
Roy Hibbert? He
He
might have
bounced
been the
around at
bottom.
the end.
I think he played for the Lakers at the end. I don't think he ever played for the Raptors.
Ivan Johnson.
Ivan Draco.
Did
Ivan
Landry
Bob.
Fields play on the Lakers? No.
Oh, Jordan Farmar.
He probably did.
Fuck. This is hard. I
I mean-
Danny Green fits, but I don't want to
There's
use
some
him.
obvious ones, obviously.
What about Ed Davis top left? Or yeah.
Oh,
But I was gonna say he might even work for the Lakers one too, but
Who the
should
fuck
we
is
just
Ed Davis?
we try to get some rainbow on the right side before we go but for bottom left middle?
Yeah, we can try it for at least a couple over there.
Yeah, because we can say any bench player on the
Brad
Bulls.
Doherty for top right. Oh wait, no, Bowie. That's what I was thinking of. Sam Bowie.
come on, that's the guy who's taken before Jordan.
Still like 3%. I don't know.
Oh,
You
Jesus.
picked Bill Walton over here, like he's not the fucking most famous Trailblazers player of all time.
He's not. This guy is. See?
Yeah, one of them got a chip there, the other one didn't.
Detlef Schrempf.
Oh, shit.
I mean, he might actually be taken. Oh yeah, Scotty.
Oh, look at that crew
I
cut.
like that picture.
It's a good
In
picture.
game, the only in-game picture I've ever seen.
Who played with Jordan? Come on. How do we not remember anybody who played with Jordan?
Bill Cartwright.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bill Cartwright. But who's like the fucking shitty guys on the like in the Jordan
John Paxson?
documentary? He talked about fucking how they were all doing coke and shit like that. Like
Like
who's
the
playing on
Paxton
the
guy.
Oh, Bill
Paxton?
Paxton.
no,
Well, he ended up being the GM, so he might be
Oh,
guessed.
Jim Paxton.
no, John.
Wait. Yeah, what the fuck? Which one is it? He played with another shitty white guy. I can't remember.
Steve
Well,
Kerr.
not Kerr, but
No, not Kerr. He's
who
one
coach
of
is
the-
not shitty.
No, and he didn't play. He played in the 90s.
Oh, you're right.
Bill Cartwright and John Paxson are the only two big fucking whites.
No, you're right. There was a big man, right? Luke Longley.
I got so excited.
Oh,
This was
1991. Fuck.
No, that was definitely it. Is that what you meant?
It was somebody I can't fucking picture. I'm trying to remember from the my NBA eras that I used to play in 2K.
There was a guy that won the 3-point contest, Craig Hodges.
That was a deep ass cut, dude. Holy crap! Wow.
Wow, okay, maybe it's not easy to get a rainbow on these.
Who's the guy who left?
Michael Jordan.
Fucking not
Dick
Hod-
Dick-
the guard that Jordan hated that left. Fuck was his name?
Steve
Do you
Kerr.
like-
Punch him in the
do you like-
face.
You remember from the documentary, Jacob?
Did he replace him?
No, it was,
BJ Armstrong was after.
that was like Armstrong. That's what I was thinking of, BJ Armstrong. But
Would
that
it
might
be-
have been the 90s.
Was that who he came back to join and like was like get out the fuck out of here when the second time out? I don't even remember.
No, he left and then like he told him to go fuck himself. And then he beat him in one game. And he talked shit to him and then he smoked him.
Hey. How about Bob Love? There's some 2K people I had on my brain.
Bob Love. Jesus H. He didn't even play in the 80s.
How about World Be Free for the Lakers in the bottom right?
Oh, that was from the 70s. I remember that.
Wait,
Fuck.
who?
Bottom right, World Be Free.
I mean, that's the coolest name.
I didn't play for him though.
Oh no, my God. Who the hell?
Tree Rollins.
No, fuck. I'm trying to remember. The only
Wait, who
guy
tried
in
this
Winning
with?
Time, the show about the Showtime Lakers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jay
Fuck.
West?
He shows his penis now. That's how I know him.
That's nice.
Something on AC Green. AC Green was allergic to showing his penis.
He was
No.
scared of he was scared of the ladies.
Oh wait, I have one more Bulls though.
Michael Cooper?
Yeah, that's who we had.
No. Oh, wow. I guess it was. Yeah, fuck.
I was gonna say Artis Gilmore, but Craig Hodges was low for the Bulls, but
Artist Gilmore?
he's an Afro man.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ, that's a high percentage for a guy I've never even heard of.
He was like a Wilt rival. I play too much. See, I play like the Ultimate Team in my team, so I just collect the old cards all the time. Like I love.
Oh, fuck.
Byron Scott?
That's a good one.
Hmm.
We could have tried Horace Grant for the Lakers and Bulls, probably.
Yeah, what about Byron
That's
Scott?
not even a thing.
Byron Scott's not on there.
Oh, for this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just meant because I think they were both.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Horace Grant's low-key low.
Oh, Vladdy. Hey, you want to try Arvydas Sabonis to the top right again?
Maybe Sabon did he play for the Cavs?
Maybe Craig Elo for them.
Well, I mean, I did say AC Green already. What about AC Green? Did the Lakers? I just know because he's like, I remember from winning time.
Chris
Yeah,
Kane for bottom left.
yeah, bottom right. Yeah, because he's
Oh, he's high.
yeah,
Anybody that was on
he
winning
was
time is gonna be high.
yeah, that's true. Especially because the show.
Oh, who's the goofy ass white guy with the mullet that tried to fight Larry Bird in the '80s from the Lakers?
Kurt
Oh,
Rambis.
Kurt Rambis. Yeah.
He
He
might
had the
have-
glasses.
Oh wow,
He's memorable.
yeah. Apparently, as soon as I described him, you guys were like Kurt Rambis, fucking idiot.
Oh, what about Clay's dad,
What's his name?
Thompson.
Michael Thompson?
Yeah, Mychal.
Yeah, it's
for
with
the
an MY though.
for the Lakers?
Yeah,
I've never even heard of him.
No,
it's-
Mych.
yeah, it's MY.
MY. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, there he is. What the fuck?
Horace Grant apparently is.
How is that even? How is he the lowest? Or should we just go?
Maxwell?
Let's do
all
one
gold?
low one.
Cedric Maxwell for bottom right. Didn't he play for them too? I know there's one guy from the Celtics back then that played for both.
He played for somebody else. I just can't remember who. All right, let's wrap this up.
Chris Kaman.
Mm-hmm.
Final answer.
Yeah. Final answer.
Wrong. What about like
Oh fuck! That was one that's gonna be high.
who?
Mark Gasol.
Yeah, that might be.
not
What about
gonna
Jamario Moon? Did he play on the Lakers?
What about Pau Gasol?
How the fuck do you spell Jamario Moon?
I give only the wildest answers, I guess, but kind of go for a gold.
I feel like they had one of those weird like who was like the
Or like Shannon
Andres
Brown.
Andres Biedrich?
No.
Did he ever play
Did
for the
Shannon
Lakers?
Brown go on there?
Shannon Brown. That's a good guess. Oh.
No,
How
no.
would-
Who?
I was just saying one of the other names that was on there. Does Pau Gasol fit for Marco Bellinelli's spot?
He might.
When did he play for the Raptors?
I thought he played for the Raptors.
No, he played for the Spurs at the end.
He could have. I would have bought the Raptors too.
Could have sworn I saw him in one of those Raptors jerseys.
Tayshaun Prince.
That's always my favorite Celtics Pistons.
Meta World Peace.
Gary Payton never played for the Raptors. I don't think so.
Neither did his son. Oh. Did he play for the Raptors? No.
I just want to get under 20. That's the goal.
Wait. Did Calderon play for the Lakers?
He might have.
Oh.
He wasn't in that low though.
He's gold, but he was 4%.
Yeah, this is a hard one to get.
Calderon.
All gold.
Could have done
All
better on
gold.
Cavs Bulls, probably.
Yeah, these killed us.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Boozer would have been good there.
Oh, true.
Losing's always fun.
Boozer. All right.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too. This has
Jacob?
been the Banner Report.
Jacob's got nothing. Doesn't matter what Jacob has. We're signing off.
I'm
Celtics play
good.
tomorrow night. Let's kick the Knicks' ass. And let's beat the
Yerp.
Sixers on Wednesday.
Hopefully I can catch that game.
All right, folks. That's been it. I've been Cody. That's been Steve. Jacob, always a pleasure. Follow us on our socials. Follow the Pierce Post Up. Follow the Banner Report. Peace out. Let's go, Celtics.
Okay.